Hey Morts, I'll just show you how I'm coming up with it. DBT has told me in the past that I don't mark up order blocks correctly, so you might want to get this run by him as well. Otherwise, Aaron can put his 2 cents in. It depends also like what fractal you're looking at. So I'm always trying to play like the second candle. So whether it's you can see we're going now for the second daily candle. So if this is a weekly candle and it was a second weekly candle, you're trying to look at the corresponding like mid time frames for that. You can see I've drawn up this first level just at the bottom of that blue candle structure. I don't know if you would put it, at the bottom of that wick, but I've just put it there. It needs to be round about there. I'm not trying to like, put a limit to be so specific to the pip, right? I know that in order for our rules to get met anyway, for the overlay indicator, right? Like the 1 hour, and you can see it's coming in now, right? This is if you just wanted to go off the open. The time saver entry, which still applies if you don't want to wait for the pullback. So you can go off the open. 1 hour could like come in to 0 or above 0 and then go again. And if it's round about that area, fine. Like it doesn't have to be too specific. You should get that 30-minute tag alerting with the swing trading overlay indicator. But yeah, so the 2 hour opposing candles, because bearish daily TPM candle, you got those over there. I don't want to say in the middle of the candle, but the body of the candle, and then using the 4 hour or the 2 hour, getting the candle that created the high of that one, so you can see basically is coming off the open of that bearish candle. I think 2 hours the same. Yeah, so that's it. I don't have higher than a daily for UJ anyway, but I'll do GU just to give you more perspective, I guess, on that, so we can look at this one together. You can see the low of the candle, I'm just using the top of that for daily fractal. Again, 1 hour is coming in, so by the time the 1 hour is at 0 or under 0, you're going to be getting that 30-minute tag. And if you're getting the 30-minute tag and price is close-ish to there, then I'd say that's fine. But again, not sure if I'm marking these things up correctly, so you might want to just get a second opinion on it. But and that depends on how precise you want to be. I don't care if it's like a few pip either way. It's more or less going to have to be there, right? I know what the wave should look like anyhow. So I mean, once I can tell you, like once this 4 hour wave, for example, right, and this is if we're going to keep longing up to these levels, which I will get to, but once this 4 hour wave crosses and you get that like kink type of a thing, and then it goes up to anchor, like that is going to be probably your entry, like your 30-minute tag, your 1 hour trigger to go if we keep longing. You can see it happens here, like you cross, you get that like that hitch down, and then it goes to anchor, right? So that's how I'm drawing that up, and it will tie up to the waves. And then this 2-week fractal, okay, I think it's the third 2 week at the moment. Sorry if it's a mess, but I'll just zoom in. Right, so let me just mark it up. So let me just make it neutral. So yeah, third candle. Yeah, you can play the third candle in a sequence, but the third candle's not always going to be guaranteed, as you know. So we can certainly try, and you're just using a time frame that's a bit higher again. So I looking at 16 hour, it doesn't have to be too specific again, right? I'm just looking for an opposing candle that would be inside maybe the body of that candle, which that one isn't even because the candle's opened over there, so it's above anyway, or the candle that has put in the high, the bottom of that candle. I don't know what time frame I was using for that. I might have been using daily time frame. Let me just see where that marries up to. Yep, so high of that 2 weekly candle being put in. You just want to go to like a mid time frame and try and get those levels that it's going to retrace to. But like I say, I'm definitely not the best person to be talking to about order blocks. You can just do 50% of the range if you want to be lazy. Let's just see where that takes us. That's great. So you're already above. So you, at minimum, if this long position is going to come in, for example, all right, let's just say it does do that. I mean, at minimum, you want to be targeting at least, 50% of that 2-week candle before you break even, before you take profit, whatever the case is, right? And then when we get up here, let's just say you get the blue candle, all right, you get up here, you still want to get like the bearish daily TPM turning point candle. So let me just do the, that's an engulfing. And then, so if this is the first red candle, once you're at these levels, you still want to then get that, pull back to then break these lows over here, basically. So top wick of the second daily candle, around about there. I mean, it might not be perfect, but yeah, you still want basically daily second candle in this area, because you can't be watching every time frame. But just knowing that those levels are for the 2-week third candle, I think that's enough, mate. But yep, just if DBT watches this video, or definitely tag Aaron maybe if you just want to get another perspective on the order block stuff. But that's how I'm doing it. I can send you a summary of timeframes if you would like. Yeah, and then you can try and practice it yourself. Like, you saw my video from the prior week, it was really clean, and price ended up going to those levels perfectly, but we still had to wait for our entry confirmation. It's not like you're not gonna limit those levels, because you just don't know how dirty that's going to be, or like, you still want to try and get a tight stop to make it worthwhile, and then you're targeting these lows to get taken, basically, if it does come in,